before the tattoos, before the cornrows, before hip-hop and basketball collided on the NBA stage, there was Allen Iverson, a player barely 6 feet tall who stepped into a league of giants and changed the culture of basketball forever. He wasn't supposed to make it. He grew up in poverty, went to prison as a teenager, was labeled a troublemaker before he even reached the NBA. But when he stepped on the court, Allen Iverson didn't just become a star. He became a movement. This is the story of the answer. Chapter 1, Hampton, Virginia. The beginning. Allen Iverson was born June 7, 1975 in Hampton, Virginia. His mother, Ann Iverson, was just 15 years old when she had him. His father left early, leaving Iverson to grow up in poverty. Hampton's projects were tough. Violence, drugs, and crime were part of everyday life. But Allen Iverson had something different. He was one of the greatest athletes his town had ever seen. At Bethel High School, Iverson dominated 2 sports, football and basketball. In football, he played quarterback, leading Bethel to a state championship. Many believed football might actually be his better sport. But on the basketball court, Iverson's speed was something people had never seen. Defenders couldn't stay in front of him. Crowds packed gyms just to watch him play. He became a local legend before he was even 18. But everything changed in 1993. Chapter 2. The Bowling Alley Incident. In February 1993, a fight broke out at a bowling alley in Hampton. Iverson and several friends were accused of participating in the brawl. The altercation quickly escalated into a racially charged incident. Despite video evidence showing Iverson leaving the fight early, he was convicted of maiming by mob. At just 17 years old, Allen Iverson was sentenced to 15 years in prison. For a teenager who hadn't even graduated high school, it looked like his life was over. But the case sparked national outrage. Civil rights activists protested. Even future NBA star John Thompson, the legendary Georgetown coach, got involved. After 4 months in prison, Iverson's conviction was overturned by the governor of Virginia. He was released, but the experience changed him forever. Chapter 3. Georgetown, Redemption. Coach John Thompson took a chance on Iverson, but he made one thing clear. If Iverson wanted to play for Georgetown, he had to grow up. Iverson did exactly that. The moment he stepped onto the court in 1994, the college basketball world took notice. His speed, his handles, his scoring ability. It was electric. Iverson won Big East Rookie of the Year, then followed it with Big East Defensive Player of the Year. In just 2 seasons, Iverson averaged over 23 points per game. But he knew his family still struggled financially. So after his sophomore year, Allen Iverson declared for the NBA draft. Chapter 4. The number 1 pick. The 1996 NBA draft was loaded. Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, Steve Nash, but the Philadelphia 76ers selected Allen Iverson with the first overall pick. From day one, Iverson played with fearless energy. In his rookie season, he averaged 23.5 points per game and delivered one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. A rookie crossover on Michael Jordan. The move became legendary instantly. Iverson won Rookie of the Year, but the Sixers were still rebuilding, and Iverson's style didn't always fit traditional NBA expectations. Chapter 5. The Rebel. Allen Iverson wasn't just different on the court. He was different off the court, too. Cornrows, tattoos, baggy clothes, hip-hop influence. To many fans, Iverson represented authenticity, but to critics, he represented everything the NBA didn't want. The league even implemented a dress code in 2005, largely believed to be aimed at Iverson and players like him. But Iverson didn't change who he was, and that authenticity made him a cultural icon. Young fans across the world copied his style, from playgrounds to the NBA itself. Iverson had become the voice of a generation. Chapter 6. The MVP Season. The peak of Allen Iverson's career came in 2001. That season, he averaged 31.1 points per game. He won an NBA MVP award, the NBA scoring title, and made the All-NBA first team. He also led the Philadelphia 76ers to the NBA Finals that season. Along the way, he carried one of the most unlikely finals teams ever. Then came Game 1 of the Finals against the Lakers, Shaq, Kobe, a dominant team that had barely lost in the playoffs. Iverson dropped 48 points, then stepped over Tyronn Lue after hitting a dagger jumper. It became one of the most iconic images in NBA history. The Sixers eventually lost the series, but Iverson had already cemented his legend. Chapter 7. Practice. In 2002, Iverson delivered what became one of the most famous press conferences ever, the practice rant. During the emotional interview, Iverson repeatedly questioned why reporters were focusing on practice. The moment was widely mocked for years, but the full story was deeper. Iverson was dealing with the death of a close friend at the time. He felt the media misunderstood him, and that press conference became one of the most misunderstood moments of his career. Chapter 8. The Denver Years. In 2006, Iverson's time in Philadelphia came to an end. He was traded to the Denver Nuggets, pairing him with rising star Carmelo Anthony. The duo instantly became one of the league's most explosive scoring combinations. Iverson averaged 26 points per game in Denver, but the team never made a deep playoff run, and after 2 seasons, the Nuggets decided to move on. Chapter 9. The Decline. Iverson's career began to decline rapidly. Stops in Detroit, Memphis, and a brief return to Philadelphia. Never recreated the magic of his prime years. The league was changing. Teams were focusing on efficiency and spacing. Iverson's ball-dominant style didn't fit the new era. In 2010, he played his final NBA game. Chapter 10. The Legacy. In 2016, Allen Iverson was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. His career numbers, 24,368 points, 4 scoring titles, 11 All-Star appearances, 2001 MVP. But Iverson's legacy goes far beyond statistics. He changed the culture of the NBA. He made it acceptable for players to be themselves. Many modern superstars, from streetball players to NBA MVPs, credit Iverson as their inspiration. Because Allen Iverson proved something unforgettable. You didn't have to be 7 feet tall, you didn't have to fit the mold. Sometimes the smallest player on the court can leave the biggest impact. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Allen Iverson's career, subscribe to Bio Unlocked for more long-form sports and culture documentaries, because every legend has a story worth unlocking.